readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about our February TBR. We're going to be ambitious again. In January I think we bit off a bit more than we could chew, didn't we? But we still got through quite a lot.
And speak for yourself, brother.
Oh, you got 7 books or...
Yeah,
I think we both planned to read 10.
Whoa.
But hopefully this year, I cannot talk. This month we can hit our goals, and so Ed, do you want to kick us off with your first book you're intending to read during the month of February?
I would like to read Thomas Berger's apparent masterpiece, Little Big Man, which is about the story of Jack Crabbe, who is a very remarkable man. It feels a little bit like Forrest Gump, but of the 19th century, where he is in all of these important events that happened towards the latter half of the 19th century. For example, he is raised in a white society, and then he is kidnapped and raised there again, then again in a Native American band, and so on and so forth. And he flits between characters and jobs and people. And events, and he is there for all the key moments. So I'm really excited to read that, and it's meant to be a fantastic book. It's got such a good name and so many fans of it, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. I read the prologue once upon a time a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I just didn't have enough time to go read that book, and then it got lost. So here it is again, and I'm looking forward to reading it.
Very nice, glad that you found it, Ed.
Me too.
And it's jumping straight into the front of your pile. We are both going to be reading The Tyranny of Faith by Richard Swan, so we were both lucky enough to be granted early access through NetGalley. That's where you got yours, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, NetGalley. So, of course, in exchange for an honest review, which we will hopefully have on the channel before release, which is the 14th of February. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully we enjoyed Tyranny of Faith. We both enjoyed The Justice of Kings. I read it last year. You read it in January. And so, yeah, you did say last month, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to read it in time, but here you are. You did it. Yeah. You did it. And so, yeah, we're really looking forward to reading Tyranny of Faith. Well, I've started it, really enjoying it so far. Nice. We're both looking forward to finishing The Tyranny of Faith.
And we both also will be reading The Judas Blossom by Stephen Orion, and this is his new book set in kind of a Mongol Persian-inspired historical fantasy world, which is really, really exciting. Can't wait to read it. I love Stephen Orion's writing. I really loved The Coward. I need to read The Warrior because I'm excited for that too. It's just, you know what it's like when you've got so many books to cram into a short space of time. But The Judas Blossom will be a book that we read and review prior to it coming out. And we will let you know the date of its coming out over here, unless you know where it is. When it is? Nope. I can't remember off the top of my head, but can't wait to read it because it sounds right up our street.
It really does, so yeah, hopefully we really enjoyed that. And next I have a comic. I've not read a comic for almost a year, but a very good friend of mine kindly bought me this for my birthday.
That's kind.
And so,
friend
Max.
Oh, we like Max.
We like Max.
He's a good guy.
And so, The Sandman, Volume 1, well, Book 1. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forwarding. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak
You are really looking forward to
reading The Sandman.
Sandman. Neil Gaiman
book. Yes, because I absolutely loved. I committed sacrilege. I watched the adaptation before reading any of the book material, and so yeah, I will be convicted of that book crime. But I'm rectifying my mistakes, and I'm going to be reading this. And so yeah, really looking forward to it. Haven't read a comic in quite a while, so I'm looking forward to returning to this format.
I haven't read a huge epic in a while, so Taiko by Eiji Yoshikawa is next. On our video recently talking about standalones we want to read, I mentioned this book, and we got so many comments on that video saying how amazing the book is, how fantastic it is, and there was also a fantastic comment talking about the backdrop of it and what makes it an amazing book and why I would like it. So definitely go check that video out and look at the comments, because if you want to read Taiko, there's a lot of reasons why. So those reasons alone bumped this up to the top of the pile, and I'm really excited to reading this because it is set in Japan, and it does look at the 3 central characters as Tokugawa Ieyasu becomes Shogun. So that if you play Shogun or Shogun 2, right up your street. If you like Shogun, the book, then yeah, check this out as well. Eiji Yoshikawa. It'll be really exciting to read a book by a Japanese author as well. obviously writing about samurai. It's like when you watch Kurosawa films, they just have this authenticity and just an extra layer of what makes Japanese cinema so great, and Kurosawa is one of those main reasons. So yeah, I'm sure Yoshikawa is one of the reasons what makes these books amazing as well, and it'll be really exciting to read something set in that time period again. And it's a huge book, so I need
very nice,
cool to get your teeth into.
Hopefully you enjoy that, Ed. Next up, I have 2 books because I was a bit behind on the Library of Alexandria's read-along of the Cicero trilogy, so I'll be reading Imperium straight after Tyranny of Faith, and then I'll be reading the sequel book to the series, which is called Lystium or Lustrum. I'm not sure, because it's got 2 or 3 different names across different places. There's one at beginning with C as well, which I've forgotten.
Cicero.
But yeah, no, it's not quite. But yes, I'm really looking forward to reading these historical fiction by Robert Harris. And so yeah, really looking forward to it. Library of Alexandria. I'm looking forward to chatting about it on his Discord as well.
He does like his Romans, doesn't he, old
He
Alan?
does.
And boosh, in the name of Alan, I'm going to be reading Golden Sun. Mike Book Reviews is doing a read-along on his channel, and he's reviewing these as they go along as well. So great to watch, great to be a part of as well. And I love this book because this is a reread prior to Pierce Brown's Lightbringer coming out later this year. Golden Sun's always been my favourite book of the trilogy. I loved rereading Red Rising. It just elevated it better than I remembered it was, which is great on a reread. It's so much better to find out that it does hold up to your memory as well, and it even it gets better in your esteem. So that's cool. Golden Sun, I love this one because it takes on more sci-fi vibes. I'm not a big fan of sci-fi, but it really works here, and I love the way that Darrow goes from Mary Sue kind of character to someone who cocks up a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which I love reading about. I like it when the main character makes a lot of mistakes, and he becomes much more conflicted in himself here. So I'm looking forward to reading Golden Sun, and obviously the plot is fantastic.
And it's the top 5 greatest endings ever.
The book is just incredible, and it doesn't let up. There is steam coming out of your ears as you read this because it is so fast.
That is very true, Ed. It is a hazard of reading the Red Rising trilogy and Golden Sun in particular. But next up, I have The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, and I'll be listening to this in the Audible format. So I didn't quite click with the Poppy War. I did enjoy aspects of it very much, but those others, it was a bit conflicting in different ways, wasn't it? But certainly more than enough to carry on with this series. So I'm looking forward to continuing.
I think if you didn't like the Poppy War, then you're not going to like Dragon Republic.
Do you not think? But I will give it a go. I'll give it a shot. And I absolutely loved Babel, which R.F. Kuang, her most recent release was, and I thought that was an absolute incredible book. So I'm willing to give a benefit of the doubt and try The Dragon Republic.
Very nice. And the next one for me is a book that Papa Gwyn has said I must read as I'm going to be starting my writing journey again. This is a book that he said definitely has a similar feel to the thing that I'm trying to go for within my writing. And it is Winterbirth by Brian Ruckley. Now, I know it has kind of a Viking Age thing going on with the world building, but it also has kind of a Native American aspect as well, similar to that of Last of the Mohicans. Dad said there's a section there that really reminds him of a certain final 25 minutes in Last of the Mohicans, which is really, really cool. I love that film. Well, probably my favourite film
sold
ever. Yeah, so, and he said Winterbirth, the Godless trilogy, or the Godless Land, I think it's called, this trilogy, is absolutely fantastic. I love that cover, that's amazing. And I remember I started reading this when I was about 14, and when my mama, I should say, if she's reading, I don't call her mum, it's an antique dealer. We were at a fair and I was reading this, which really probably isn't the best cover to have on show when you're trying to sell things at a vintage fair. But I did, and I started reading it, and I think she probably told me off, told me to get rid of the book, or at least take the cover off, which I probably did. And then I just never got back to it. So but I remember one I read, I really enjoyed. I remember a few of the names as well, and it definitely made an impression upon me. So I will carry this on. I will read from the beginning, and I will love it. I know.
Very nice. And next up, what do I have? I have Soulsmith by Will White, book 2 of the Cradle series. I really enjoyed Unsold in January, and I've heard that the first 2 books, they're good but not great compared to his later books, and so considering that I really enjoyed book 1, I cannot wait to get to
not only do the
Soulsmith.
books level up in terms of the character, but the
quality
books level up in terms of quality.
Nicely done there.
Cheers.
Multifaceted saying that.
Hey, they don't call me multifaceted for no reason.
That is your middle name, isn't it? But anyway,
multifaceted Gwyn.
But yeah, so Soulsmith, really looking forward to getting back to this world, this story, Will White's writing. And yeah, I really enjoyed book 1, and I'm looking. They feel like palate cleansers, even though it's part of this series. So I expect that to continue.
The next one for me, I'm rereading, doing quite a few rereads, which I'm absolutely loving at the moment, and I'm going to be rereading my favourite book in the Regante series, Midnight Falcon by David Gemmell. Book 1, Sword in the Storm, 5 stars out of 5. It's probably among the best of fantasy that you can read. Midnight Falcon takes what makes Sword in the Storm great, and it just elevates it to an even higher level. I consider those 2 books pretty much one book. This is the story of Bane the Bastard, and I won't give any spoilers about who he is, but he is an amazing character. I just adore reading about him. He's someone that you really get behind, and he's just such a good person as well. And I love the way that David Gemmell writes heroes and characters, and he makes them flawed and grey individuals, but he also has a way of getting you behind them, and that is just what you need in a fantasy world as well.
It's a great mix.
And it is a very Celtic inspired fantasy, so if you like Boudica, if you like Faith in the Fallen, then you will absolutely love this series.
Very nicely put, Ed. And yeah, so the Regante books 1 and 2 are my favourite books by David Gemmell, and they're both just amazing.
Have you read books 3 and 4? I consider Regante just a duology.
Yeah, I feel like book 3 and 4 are like a separate series, but within the same world.
Yeah, that's why
because it jumps like a long time afterwards, so it's none of the same cast of characters, but they're great as well. But book 1 and 2 specifically are absolutely awesome. And the next time, I think the last books I'll be talking about today are The Lessons Never Learned and Cold Ashes Risen by Rob J. Hayes. So I'll be listening to book 2 and 3 of his War Eternal series. I've really enjoyed book 1, Along the Razor's Edge, in December, I believe. I thought it was awesome, fantastic indie fantasy where I thought, oh, well, I can see where this story is going, and then it really just defied my expectations, took this story in directions I didn't expect, and was a great engaging read with a really solid cast of characters that I'm really looking forward to seeing built upon in books 2 and 3.
Nice. And the last one for me, I'm going to be reading another manga, and this is Vinland Saga Volume 1, the Omnibus. I used to call it called an omnibus. Or is it an omnibus?
Omnibus, I think.
Is it not an omnibus? So I thought it was called an omnibus, and I've just made myself
omnibus. I thought
in front of our subscribers.
Or it might be me being the fault.
It is Vinland Saga Volume 1 Omni. That one. Omnipotent.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
All powerful.
I don't think it's omniscient though, because it hasn't arrived yet. That's why I haven't got it here. It is omniscient everywhere, isn't it? Or is that all knowing?
No, that's all knowing.
Oh, what's the one? Omnipresent. Of course. It's not omnipresent because it's not here, and I haven't got it. But Vinland Saga. Obviously, I watched Philip Chase and Murphy Napier's chats about the Vinland Saga, and I absolutely loved watching them, and it made me really excited to go and read the Vinland Saga myself. Obviously, I love the Viking Age, but put that with some manga, I'm sure it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that as well, and we will be chatting about it on the channel.
Hopefully, when I get to it.
Yeah, I'll chat about it anyway.
No, well, you can just go first, and then I'll join the bandwagon later on.
That's what happens in this family.
And that's everything by you?
I think
I'm just going to push that under the carpet. But is that all the books we're reading in February?
I believe so.
So, hopefully you
will check quickly.
Those are all the books we're watching. We've got a few more events going on in February. We're doing a chat with PL Stewart, won't we? Which you're really
we are really looking forward to. Chat with PL Stewart and Steve Talks Books, which is really, really cool. It'll be great to chat to those guys over there.
Yes, it will, and obviously you'll be moving your shelves around a bit more. And also, you've signed us up to a little tournament, haven't you, Ed?
I have. If Dylan and Charles, if you're watching, or Philip Chase, they love tennis, and we love tennis as well, and we're doing a tennis tournament. Doubles though, so don't worry.
Doubles,
and it'll be our first LTA tournament together, so that'll be pretty cool. Maybe we'll be the new tennis brothers.
Definitely not.
The brothers tennis.
The brothers tennis. But yeah, hopefully we can do alright at that. I doubt it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what your TBR is for February and how your reading's going, and let us know any other recommendations you've got. We always really appreciate and love them. And going through the comments and adding books to our TBR pile, the ever-growing TBR pile. But everyone, thank you so much for watching. Truth and Courage, the Brothers Gwyn.
The Tennis Brothers, Kyrgios and Nadal.